What's up, everyone? I'm Megan Sullivan here with my good buddy Mitch Dyer, and we're here to talk about our favorite upcoming game, Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, Mitch, you got to go to Edmonton and you got to talk to BioWare about the multiplayer for this game.
The what?
The multiplayer for this game, which is surprise!
Yeah.
Big surprise.
Big surprise,
And
right?
I have a lot of questions for you.
Okay, hit me. I have answers. What do you need to know?
All right, so the first is the most obvious question, is how many players can be in my party?
So it is a 4-player cooperative multiplayer mode.
Okay.
There is no PvP. So
you can't be a Templar and I can't be a mage and go at it.
Yeah, no. This is very specifically sort of Diablo-esque looting, dungeon crawling. 4 of us running around a dungeon, smashing dudes to pieces, finding gold, getting treasure.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah.
All right, and what kind of classes, what kind of classes can I be?
So, true to, in your Dragon Age party, you have your mage and your rogue and your warrior and your archer. You have these 4, basically it's those 4 core classes. But the way it breaks down is every class has a different character. And they are characters, right? The idea is that this particular brand of archer is his own person. And he has a unique skill branch with all these different skills that you can't get as a mage. He has all these different items that you can't get as a warrior. And that particular character is yours. So when you level him up and you get an item for another archer, if you want to use it on somebody else, you have to go back and start from level 1.
Okay, and what are the advantages of getting this kind of loot? Can I take that back into the single player mode, or is that only in the multiplayer mode?
So the multiplayer mode is its own thing. It's not like, Mass Effect 3, you had your galactic readiness. So you'd play multiplayer, you'd build stuff up, and it would feed into the campaign.
Right.
So far, BioWare hasn't spoken about this yet, if they're going to, but as far as I understand it, the multiplayer is its own standalone thing. It's a concurrent story where it's not like a heavily detailed story. You and I aren't going to be making dialogue choices. We're just going to be, swinging hammers and shooting enemies and stuff like that. Okay,
and where are we going to be swinging these hammers? Do we have unique different areas? Are these areas actually also in the single-player campaign, or are they totally unique to the multiplayer?
The levels are based on single-player stuff, right? Because it's all obviously it's all set in Thedas.
Right.
So you might go to an Orlesian Palace or Elven Ruins or somewhere in Tevinter, and you might do that in the campaign. But that's also where you're going to go in the multiplayer. And the way the levels are structured is so in the Elven Ruins that I played, there are 10 separate areas. It might be like a graveyard, or it might be a library, or whatever. And the mission you play takes 5 of those randomly and pieces them together. So you fight through one area, go through a door, and you're in the next one. So it's different every time you go through.
All right. Are there unique enemies? Are there anything that appear in the multiplayer that may not appear anywhere else in the game?
That's a good question. That's TBD. I don't know. The stuff I saw was we fought a lot of different enemies, and we've played some single player, not a ton. But yeah, there's like a decent variety of mini bosses and group encounters where you have archers in the back trying to pick you off while guys close the gap with you with big swords and stuff like that. So
okay, are there any special appearances by any of the other characters in Dragon Age Inquisition?
That's a good question too. That's TBD. It's a concurrent story. The idea is that you are like part of the army of the Inquisitor.
Right.
The main character in the single player story. You're out doing the operations for him or her, and you are your own little band, and you're collecting loot and gaining treasure and all that stuff. Separate from the story.
All right, what was your favorite part of playing multiplayer when you were up there in Edmonton?
The economy is awesome. The economy of earning treasure is great. You kill guys, you go through the levels, you find treasure, you find secrets. Like if you're a warrior, you might be able to kick down a wall that a mage can't to find more treasure, and then that feeds into the loot system, which after you finish a mission, you get card packs, or you can buy treasure boxes that give you card packs that have items in them. And if you don't like the item, you can break it down and make it into something you do want to make.
Okay, but what happens if you have like 4 warriors in your party and you need a mage to get a treasure? What happens then?
Sorry, you have to kind of plan for that, right? If you go into a level, you might not know that this door can only be opened by a mage, and we didn't bring one. So bring your healers. Bring your supports.
That's a good idea. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think the multiplayer sounds fantastic in this game. Let us know what you think of it in the comments below, and get ready for Dragon Age Inquisition. I believe it comes out November 18th in the US, and I think November 22nd in Europe.
Megan knows everything about Dragon Age.
I do. I love Dragon Age Inquisition. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Keep it locked here to IGN.